Chapter 4, Layer Basics. I'm on page 72 and 73 of your book. So in this chapter, we're basically going to learn how to manipulate layers, how to create layers, apply gradients to layers, do layer styles, and a couple of more fun things. So turn the page to 74. 74 says Getting Started. Number 1 says Start Photoshop, then immediately hold down Control-Alt-Shift. This is as the computer is starting up. You can do this, and it supposedly sets all of your settings on Photoshop back to the default settings. Because we have shared computers, I'm noticing that doesn't always work. So usually when it says that, just kind of skip over it, and then it says when prompted, click Yes to delete the Adobe Photoshop settings file. So we're going to drop down to number 3. Number 3 says Choose File, Browse and Bridge. File, you guys are all familiar with this part now. Browse and Bridge to open up Adobe Ridge. In the Favorites panel, click the Lessons folder. We're going to go to where you normally have your Photoshop file saved. So we're going to go straight over to that Common G drive. So click on this PC, go down to the Common G drive. I'm going to go to Art, Computer Graphics, 2018, those are your book files, your lesson book files. Oops, I'm in Computer Graphics 5.6, I went to the wrong one. Computer Graphics. And then 2018 Photoshop book tutorial files. And then you just keep clicking the lesson files until you get to lesson 4, which is what we're doing right now. And then your book tells you to double-click Lesson 4 folder in the computer panel to see all of its contents. I'm going to hit on Preview. Move that over. We can see all of the contents. If you don't like the way that your navigation panel looks right now, you can always go to Windows, Workspace, and we're going to go to Reset Workspace. This is more the traditional way that your navigation panel looks. If you want to see your images a little larger, you can click the slider down at the bottom. And then it says Study the Zero End PSD file. Remember that I never put the 04 end files on there, or that I never put the end files on available to you. So don't worry about that. Double click the 04 start file to open it in Photoshop. So here's your 04 start file, and we're going to minimize bridge, and we have it open. Choose File, Save As, and you're going to save this in your H drive. I'm going to click on this PC, and I'm going to go to My H drive, and you're going to use your Book Tutorials folder. So if you go to your Computer Graphics folder, you should have a folder in here that says Book Tutorials, and just save it right in there. I do not have a Book Tutorials folder, but we are asked to change the name. Your book tells you to change the name to 04 Working. And then change this right here to Photoshop. If it does not say Photoshop, you need to click on Photoshop, which is the PSD extension. And then click OK. Hit OK. I'm on page 75 of your book. It's nice to have your book open even as I'm talking, so you know what I'm doing and how to read your book. So number 1 on page 75 says, if the Layers panel is not visible in the work area, choose Windows Layer. Mine is all visible, but what they're saying is you go to Window and come over here to Layers. If that's not checked, that means it's not showing. The other thing you can do is go to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials to have it look like it's default. The Learn panel, you can always choose to click your double arrows right there so that it's not taking up the majority of your workspace. I'm just shrinking my Photoshop workspace so that you guys can see it better. Number 2 says select the background layer to make it active if it's not already selected. So here's your background layer. We're going to click on it and make it active. The lock icon indicates that the layer is locked and protected. Anytime you have a background layer, it's going to be, and it's in italics right there, it's going to be locked. The eye icon right here indicates that the layer is visible in the image window. If you click the eye, the image window no longer displays. See, the background is just white, so if I click the eye icon, I'm hiding it, and the checkered area is really just what you're seeing. Is you're seeing the canvas that the pictures, it's invisible. There's nothing there. You're seeing the canvas of the painting. Okay, we're going to turn the page to page 76. In Photoshop, choose File, Open. Navigate to the Lessons 4 folder and then double click the Beach PSD file. I'm going to go back to the Common G drive, Students, Art, Computer Graphics, 2018 Photoshop Book Tutorials, Lesson Files, Lesson 4, and now we're going to go to Beach. Okay, page 76 at the bottom has a square that's off-white or yellow. If you want to learn more about Photoshop, then you should read over this. It gives you a couple of helpful hints. In the Layers panel, double-click Layer 1 and type Beach. And then press Enter or Return. Choose Window, Arrange, 2 up vertical, 2 up horizontal, 2 up vertical. So now we can see both documents at the same time. You have 2 documents here. There's your original document. You know it's active because it's the white is highlighted. It's a lighter color. And then over here, I know this one's active because again it's white and slightly lighter. Okay. Number 3 on page 77 says select the Move tool and use it to drag the Beach PSD image into the 04 working PSD image. So click here. You're going to take this and drag it over to here. Page 78. Close the Beach file without saving any changes to it. Nope. Okay, number 1 on the bottom of page 78, click the eye icon next to the pineapple layer to hide the image of the pineapple. Number 2, click again to show and hide the visibility column to display the pineapple. So all it's saying is you can show it, you can hide it. But we're going to keep it hidden for now. Okay, number 1 on page 79 it says select the Beach layer. Okay, so it's already selected. To make the opaque areas on this layer more obvious, hide all of the layers except the Beach layer. We're going to press Alt and then click as we click the eye icon next to the Beach layer, which they're already hidden, but if they're all showing, if you press and hold Alt and then click the Beach layer, that means we're hiding them all at once. It's a shortcut key. Number 3 says choose Layer, Layer Style, and Stroke. So we're going to go to Layer, Layer Style. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. Layer Style, and then Stroke. Number 4, specify the following settings. Size should be 5 pixels. So we're going to highlight that and type 5. Position inside. Blending mode should be normal. Opacity should be 100%. Color is white. Right here, we're going to click on this. Click the color box and select the white color in the color pixel, which means way up here on this corner. Okay, so I'm looking for all F's. That means the color is pure white. And hit OK. Click OK and a white border appears around the beach. See the white border? Rearranging your layers. Number 1 on page 81. Make the postage Hawaii, flower, pineapple, and background layers all visible by clicking the Show High Visibility column next to their layer names. And one thing I like to do is just drag down, or you can individually click each one. So it's just a little shortcut to drag, but they want to see them all. In the layer panel, drag the beach layer up so that it's positioned between the pineapple and flower layers. When you position it correctly, you'll see a thick line between the layers in the panel. Then release the mouse button. So here's my beach layer, and your book wants you to see that thick line, and then you can release. And now I have my background, pineapple, beach layers right here, and flower layers above it, and that reflects on your actual image. Notice that this picture looks like it's above the pineapple, just like here. Your layer is above the pineapple. Page 82, number 1, select the postage layer, and then click the arrow next to the opacity field to display the opacity slider. Drag the slider to 25%. You can also type 25 in the opacity box. Okay, so we're going to look for the postage layer. Here's the postage layer, and then here's your opacity. So that needs to be 25%. We can drag it down to 25%, or we can actually type 25 and hit enter. Choose File, Save. Save often. Click the eye icon next to the Hawaii, flower, and beach layer to hide them. Hawaii, flower, and beach. So all that's showing is postage and pineapple. Right-click or control-click the pineapple layer and choose Duplicate from the context menu. Make sure you click the layer name, not its thumbnail, or you'll see a wrong menu. Click OK to duplicate the layer. So drag down to the pineapple. We're going to right-click and duplicate layer. Right up here. So now we're going to hit OK. We have 2 pineapple layers. With the pineapple copy layer selected, choose Overlay from the blending menu, from the blending mode menu in the layers panel. So right over here is your blending mode. You're going to click on Overlay and watch what happens to the pineapple. Nice. Number 4, select the postage layer and choose Multiply from the blending mode menu. Postage and multiply. There we are. Did you see any difference? Let's undo it and see. Normal, so it becomes slightly darker, and then multiply. Okay. Save your work. And moving on to page 84. Click the visibility column on the beach layer to make that layer visible again. Select the beach layer in the Layers panel and choose